You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm down here in Baltimore with Rudy Williams. He telling me that he's challenging my big homie Guy Fisher to a one-on-one game of basketball because they didn't get a chance to get it on in Allenwood on the basketball court. And he represent Baltimore. Guy represent New York. What you got to say to Guy, man?
I'm saying, man, Guy, my man and shit, you know, I got mad love and respect for him and shit, but if he step on that basketball court, I'm gonna bust his ass. It's over with.
Whoa. You ain't gonna do that to Guy?
Man, if he step on the court, man,
you know Guy fast and he got dribbles.
You already know it all.
And he got the height on you.
I'm the AI of the mug and the old school and shit.
Yo, Guy, we gonna see him, son. So y'all in Baltimore, I know your money on him. New York money on Guy. We gonna see what happened. All right?
He's not gonna win. That's out. Trying to play me playing basketball, he's gonna need good players in order for him to get a win. But that's not gonna happen. It's that plain and that simple. You know, he's a good dude, good man. When it comes to basketball, he's been there for a whole lot of good time. He ain't that spot no more. And that's the difference, man. But it's all right. Bring it. You bring the noise, everything will be there. Let's get it on.
Unique Mecca Audio, man. This part 2, man, with my man Rudy, man, because I want y'all to know about his podcast. Tell him your podcast again.
Street Power. Street Power is all about the streets. My philosophy is the streets is the foundation of society. Everything stand on top of it. Mm-hmm. It's the foundation. Without the streets, the politics, business, everything would not exist.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this. We got that. We already told that on the other one. Now, this is where we at, right? We're going to talk about Diddy. This one's about Diddy, and I want the OG to break this down to talk to y'all so you hear another perspective, right? They went at Diddy because, you know, there's 3 liquor companies, right? One of them was failing, and Diddy went to him and said, yo, y'all made $20 million last year. I already did the research. I guarantee you that I'll double that and give y'all another $20 million on that by me promoting your liquor and being a part of that. And everything over that $40 million, then I want 50%. They didn't think it was going to work. They went with it. He took a starving company, liquor company, and he brought it to the top. Now, that company's all the way to the top, right? So now, here goes Diddy. They start promoting the 2 other brands that they own 100% of on in Club Live and all the expensive clubs where I'm talking about $2,500 for a bottle. But yet all they doing is promoting Diddy's joints in the little local clubs where the bottles go for $100, $125 a bottle. You know what I mean? And Diddy was like, hold up, you promoting, you know, your joints in these big companies, but my joint that I'm getting 50% of, you're not putting the same money behind that. And, you know, that's, you know, that's selfish, you know, in small terms, so you understand. So he takes him to court. When he takes him to court, he was winning in court. They're the ones that was protecting him from all of these allegations that he hasn't been charged with yet, you know, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to charge him. They didn't do all that for nothing. So now, with these allegations, they kept a Teflon circle around Diddy because he was making them the bag. Yeah. But once he took them to court to try and tell them they had to put the same amount of money that they're putting into the other 2 brands that they own 100% of, one of them is Casamigo, and you know George Clooney owned Casamigo. So once he went up against these big boys, and he was winning, they said, oh, no, we helped this black man get all this money. We helped him get in the liquor business. We did all this for this black man, and he won't stay in his place. Now he want what we got, when he's supposed to take what we give him. Forget what we got. take what we give you. You know what I mean? And from that, they pulled that Teflon circle away from him, and they left him out there like a regular nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And now this is what you see that happen to a regular black person in New York when, not New York, in America, when you jump out
the world, really.
There you go. So now he got all these allegations with no circle to protect him. What is your thoughts on the Diddy situation from the different things you've been watching? And I just want you to know, why they're going at him. Because a lot of people don't know why they're going at him. They don't help him get $1 billion. And then here he is, he's telling them, I'm taking you to court because I want more than $1 billion. And they're like, hold on, nigga.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
First of all, thank you for that background. Because I really haven't had time, to keep up with everything. So, a little bit I found out about from watching the media and all that, make it look like he's a pervert, a sexual deviant, and all. That's what they want you to think. All right. They don't want you to know the real background why they're going at him. Like you said, he was protected. I don't know whether he's a sexual deviant or whatever and all that.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. We just say he cipher, monkey cipher.
Okay, well.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All right.
Whatever. I don't know whether it's true or not. How, whether it's exaggerated. But everybody got their thing. They got their thing. The same people going at him. I'm sure they're doing the same thing and all that. But they going at him because he's a black man. And they don't want him to feel, they don't want to give him credit, for making money. They don't want him to be a man and all. They don't want to be his own man. If you black, you can't be your own man. You got to be a butt boy. You got to be a product. You got to listen to them, and then they'll let you do what they'll let you do. You can't do what you want to do. And it seems like he was doing the thing. As far as getting money, they needed him, and they can't stand that fact. Like, who is this nigga? He think we need him, this and that. Even though they did, now it's like, okay, we gotta bring him down. We gotta bring him down. He out of line now, He telling us what we should do. When we tell him what he should do, he's not listening. We gotta, what they call it, we gotta
make an example of him.
Yeah, he got too big for his britches. We gotta cut him down, man. That's what they used to say in the past. Too big for your britches, And they did it to every black man.
Give him a couple of examples.
Marcus Garvey.
You'll talk to him.
Marcus Garvey. I'm gonna give you a recent example. Kanye West and Nick Cannon. You can't get. They feel like you got to be look up to them, be grateful, and worship them for letting you get rich. Anytime that you don't answer to them, I mean, they did it to what's his name? Reginald Lewis. First black billionaire, took over the company. He's from Baltimore, by the way,
Big shout out to Baltimore.
I know his uncle, James Cooper, who was my godfather, business partner, and everything. Yeah. They did it to Khalid Muhammad. They want you to answer to them. If you don't answer to them and shit, like, they want to destroy you.
All right, pause.
What's his name? Gaddafi over in Libya and all them. You got to answer to them, because that's their ego, white supremacy. They think they're God on the planet,
Break that down now. You said two names, right, that I want you to speak on. Speak on Khalid Muhammad, and then we'll speak on Gaddafi. But what did they do to Khalid Muhammad? Because what I remember is about when he spoke on the good ship Jesus, was the one that brought the slaves over, and that the Jews bought them or whatever. And then from him saying that, Farrakhan silenced them, and, he went out. And so it was the same thing like Elijah, did with Malcolm, It's the same thing Farrakhan did with Khalid. So break down that incident on that so that these young people understand who Khalid Muhammad is and what happened with Khalid Muhammad. Rest in peace, because he passed, right?
Yeah, he passed.
Okay.
It appeared to be natural causes, but, can't believe everything you see or what it appears to be, right? But
the history.
Well, with Khalid Muhammad and Farrakhan, Farrakhan don't pull no punches when he speaks. He said probably more than him. You know, he don't hold his tongue and all that. So I don't know whether, you know, he was censored for saying certain things like Malcolm was with Elijah Muhammad. Like, it was the only thing, it was the timing with Malcolm and Elijah Muhammad. He was like, right now, it was indiscretion. It was a bad time where everybody mourning the president, they said all. You could have said that later on, but
what did they say? Tell them what they said about the president. What president?
Chickens come home to roost. He's talking about Kennedy, because Kennedy, 2 weeks prior to his assassination, he approved of the assassination by the CIA, who was controlling the military, of the guy, one of their puppets, who they put in power in Vietnam, Theo. His name was Theo. And he became unpopular, but he didn't want to give up power. Him and his family, they clicked. They was running South Vietnam. They was running South Vietnam because they had divided into the South and the North. It was 2 parts. The communists was controlling the North, and they were still fighting, you know, to take over the South because they wanted the whole country. It was their country. The United States was running the South. CIA overthrew that and put a puppet. Prior to that, it was the Diem brothers who they assassinated because they got too big for their britches.
Too big for britches.
They put them in power, and then once they got in power, they was like, I ain't got to listen to you. Noriega, another one. Noriega was their man.
There you go. Dug him out of a rabbit hole. Tell him about Noriega.
What's his name? Saddam Hussein over in Iraq. That was their man. They put him in power. He got too big for his britches. Right? He started thinking he was his own man. You know? In their eyesight, you know, you're not a man. You're a boy. You're a boy. You know? You got to listen to us, answer to us. You don't listen to the answer, you got to go. Who was the Noriega was too.
Noriega with the Panama Canal. America wanted to go in. We get the quick little history on that. America wanted to go in and enlarge the Panama Canal so that they could bring more ships in because everything come through there. And they agreed to build it, and then they wanted a percentage of it. And Noriega told them, nah, you get nothing. This is ours. I'm cool with it like it is. If you want to put the money behind it, that's good, but you're not going to get a profit out of my canal. And that's when they went at him and they said, well, you're selling drugs, when allegedly, you know, they was down with it too.
Yeah, they was.
We're going to say allegedly.
They was cool with him selling drugs.
Yeah.
They was giving him the drugs.
Allowing it in.
Yeah.
You know?
Same, like it, Saddam Hussein? Same thing. They was his man. Donald Rumsfeld and all them was going over. They gave him the anthrax and all that to go to war with Iran, right? But when he felt like, you know, I got my people behind me and all that, you know, I got to say this shit too. You just ain't going to tell me what to do and all that. They didn't like that.
Saddam Hussein, let me give him one about Saddam, so to keep it up and give you some more insight. Now, Saddam Hussein, that was the time when Lord George Bush was in office, and that's the son when I say Lord George Bush, not a disrespect to him. When Lord George Bush was in office, they were saying that they had weapons of mass destruction. That was the terminology they was using to balk the United Nations to go in there in the first place. So he told them, I ain't got nothing. They said you could come. He told them they could come in. So they told him where they wanted to go, and he said, okay, no problem. But then they started wanting to go in his temples of worship. You know, wanting to go into, you know, that's like going into the synagogues. You know what I mean? Picture America letting another country go to synagogue or go in the White House. They wanted to go in his mansions and look for weapons. And he said,
if he had to let them go in there, the next thing they would have did, right, because they weren't going to stop and shit, because they know what they was trying to. They was just trying to run through this mouth. The next thing they want to do, they want to go in the And they knew he was going to buck right there.
You know?
But they weren't going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
He let them do this, he let them do that, and then they just gonna run over top of you,
Mm-hmm.
Run over top of you and bitch you. In other words, the way we say it, they want to bitch you, completely bitch you, and all. And if they can do that, they happy, But he wasn't gonna let them do that. If you don't let them bitch you, completely bitch you, and all, then they want to destroy you. Now they want to destroy you completely, That's the same thing they do with all these leaders in the other countries and all. They got to bitch you complete. Not only in the other countries, this country too. Not only in politics and the government, but in entertainment, business, and all that. They want to bitch you.
All right, pause. We riding right now. This is how we ride. So now we're going to ride back to Diddy because now you're talking about the entertainers. We just gave them a history of what they do. Now to show them how Diddy falls into this, how they wanted to punk him.
Well, first of all, Diddy was his own man. I don't know about all that other shit. Even if it's true, that ain't got shit to do with it. The reason we went at Diddy, because his own man, he called the shots and shit. They don't like you call no shots and shit like, they the shot callers. You do what they tell you to do or they destroy you. That's their ego. And Diddy was like, oh, I'm my own man and shit. I'm smart too. I got the deals and shit. Matter of fact, I'm the one that came up with the idea to do all that. Right? And you supposed to if you make them a lot of money and shit like that, you supposed to be happy that they let you do that. Not that they happy because they make money off. But you supposed to be happy because they let you do that. They let you do. You can't do shit unless they let you do. They gods and shit in their mind. If they didn't let you do all this shit, then they're going to destroy you. Same way, y'all youngsters out there, it's like, you want to be your own man? You want to be your own man and all? Then they're going to destroy you because in their eyesight, it's only one man, and that's them. That's them. So a lot of this shit you hear about people saying and all, don't believe the hype. Don't believe all that shit.
This, so y'all understand, is not. I'm going to say it again. Is not to defend Diddy. It's to just break it down to our people that this is where we have to come together. I was downtown last week for a young man that, got arrested, and I was trying to help him out of his situation. So I supported the family and went down there. And they had Donald Trump out there going to trial in the next building. Had the whole joint packed off. They had big flags that said Trump 2024 for president while he's going to trial for violating the laws of the Constitution of the United States. And his people is still supporting him. Not saying he guilty or not guilty, just using it as a stance. And I'm going to say it on the record, always say it. Man, to me, Trump, and these rat bastards don't like it. Trump was the best president I've seen during my lifetime. And the reason why is because everything that he promised this base, he stood on. Politicians before Trump would promise you anything, and when they get in office, they do the total opposite or nothing. Donald Trump went through a checklist. He went in and said he's going to build a wall. You know what I mean? He fought like hell to build a wall. Got resistance, not saying it was needed, not needed. We're not into that. But that's what he promised them when he went in. Then he promised that he was going to keep the Muslims and what was that? The Mexicans, the foreigners, and this and that. Said they criminals, and everybody went crazy when he first said it publicly, because politicians have never said what they say behind closed doors publicly until Donald Trump, and he stood on it. But those are the people that put him in office, and that's why I think that Donald Trump is the greatest president that only me. Not you, not making an opinion for you, that I've seen, because even though I don't agree with his policies, with 90% of his policies, he honored his word to his people that put him in office.
Well, I might not be sitting here talking to you if it weren't for Donald Trump.
Talk to him.
Because he made good on the promises they made, that they didn't intend to make good. They got the credit for talking about it and passing bills, but they never enforced them and all that.
Tell them the promises.
Well, the compassionate release, convalescing and advice. It's more people came home during the Donald Trump tendency in the presidency
than Obama.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so I might not be here, if it weren't for him.
Me either.
Because he held them to it. One thing about him, he had a business background.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in business and all that, you can talk all kinds of shit, but you got to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make good on the thing, or else your reputation is, is suspect. You're gonna be, doubted. But Donald Trump, the same way in the drug game or any business, the drug game was the business and all that. Your reputation depends on, or your success depends on your reputation. And nobody gonna fuck with you if you're hot. Or if you selling bullshit, or you conning motherfuckers, and you saying one thing, it's taking a 50, and you giving them something that's taking a 5 or something like that, After a while, people like, man, don't fuck with him. Your reputation is everything, man, So you got to deliver. If you say it's taking a 50, then you got to give a 50.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump is a businessman. I read his book, The Art of the Deal, way back in 84 or 5. Before I went to jail, I read his book, The Art of the Deal. And he made that point. It's like, you can hype shit up and all that, but you got to deliver in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to deliver. You talk that talk, in other words, but you got to walk the walk.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You got to walk the walk. So, him being a businessman, he knew that. A politician don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
A politician don't know that. A politician feel like you talk that talk and you ain't got to deliver nothing. Once you get in the office and shit, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to deliver now. You in the office. Fuck them.
And that's what it is.
That's a politician, but Donald Trump is different because he's a businessman,
Mm-hmm.
And he know that success depends on the reputation, and you got to be known for making good on what the fuck you say.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is.
And I want the young dudes to know that too.
Mm-hmm.
Your word is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare and all of them, talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand that your word is everything. Your credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be saying shit that you ain't gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be talking shit. Because credibility is credit. You understand credit like going to the bank, filling out an application. No. All on the streets, credit is everything. Every time you interact with somebody, every time you open your mouth, credit is involved. Credit is at stake. Because if you lying and shit, you're losing credibility. But if you're known for telling the truth and all, you gaining credibility. Because they was like, man, I'm going to ask him because I know he's going to tell the truth. So your word is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Your word is everything.
All right, so let's ride. Let's ride. All right. So now, because this is about Diddy, but all of this plays in the fact so you understand that, you can't get too big for your britches is one thing we just taught you, and that your word is everything. And that's what we stand on, our word, So my man came home. We're going to get into that. I went right to see him. There's so much to talk about with him because we got a history that y'all just don't understand. But this is my elder. How old was you when you went to jail?
36.
36.
Yeah, when we met, we was in Allenwood.
Mm-hmm. We're going to get into that.
Yeah,
we're going to get into that. How old was Shay when you went to jail?
Shay was like 6.
He was 6 years old?
Yeah, 6 years old.
Y'all want to know who Shay is?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What? fresh out the can of 26.
Yeah.
He back on the strip, getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
What he mentions a gift.
Right.
You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit.
Yeah.
Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn.
Real.
Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.